Hey folks, welcome back. Pop Retro. That's Pop Retro 1 on Twitter and on Instagram, facebook.com/Pop Retro 1. Coming at you today from Pop Retro Studio B. I have a small stack of my most recent pickups from the boutique label Vinegar Syndrome. So I wanted to share those with you before it gets too late in the month as I'm catching up on some of these haul videos, some stuff that has come in over the last month before other stuff comes in. So we will just get started right now. And first up, we've got Freeway 2 Confessions of a Trickbaby. Director Matthew Bright. This is a sequel to Freeway. This is from 1999. The original Freeway was from 96, but this is a unrelated sequel. So you don't have to watch this. The first one to watch this. You can watch this and just pick it right up. It's been a long time since I actually have seen this, so I am excited to check it out. So this is the Vinegar Syndrome limited edition slipcover. As you know, Vinegar Syndrome is all about slipcovers. Very popular, well known for their slipcovers. This is actually a 4K UHD offering. Now I have opened these up and flipped the artwork. So that is some of the original artwork that's more reminiscent of what I remember from the VHS shelves from back in the day, from back when I was a youngster. So as always, a lot of special features on these. They come with the 4K UHD as well as a regular standard Blu-ray. Remember back in the day when you got a Blu-ray and a standard DVD? Nowadays you get a standard Blu-ray with your 4K UHD. So we are just moving on up the chain here in technology, folks. Lots of special features. I won't read them all. You can read them at their website, vinegarsyndrome.com. Stars, that's Natasha, Lyonne, and Vinegar Syndrome. Let's see. Are they proud? Oh, Vinegar Syndrome is delighted to present the UHD debut of this demented reimagining of Hansel and Gretel, newly restored in 4K from its 35mm original camera negative. So there you go. They are delighted. I always like to see how Vinegar Syndrome feels about the releases because it's always interesting. Usually they're proud, but for this one they're delighted. All right, up next we've got from the great country of Italy, we've got Primal Rage. I haven't watched this in a while. This is from 1988. This stuff is the stuff. This is what I love Vinegar Syndrome for, is releases like these. This is the stuff that either aired on late night cable back when I was in middle school or just before middle school and going into my high school years. Basically, like anything from like 1985 to 1995. The 80s and 90s especially, but just that kind of 10-year span is when I was really, really, I couldn't get enough of anything that I could find, especially when it came to low budget, kind of not forgotten, but direct-to-video, I should say, horror movies, stuff that, there were so many cable channels and the VHS rental stores, the video stores needed product, and so it was just such a boom time. And it's also where I think a lot of fun stuff came out, especially if you were 12, 13, 14 years old back in these days. So there's a look at the limited edition slipcover for Primal Rage. She'll bring the beast out in you. I think I said already 1988, yes. And there's the flipped around artwork. This is also a 4K UHD, Ultra HD release. And there's a look at the diskettes, the standard Blu-ray also in there. Now, it's unfair for me to say, but it's not even a complaint, my only caveat is being a subscriber to Vinegar Syndrome, I've loved it because they've released so much stuff like this. But over the past, I want to say year and a half especially, they've been releasing a lot of movies that have been already released onto Blu-ray by other boutique labels over the past decade, 7 years, 8 years, in that range. A lot of Scream Factory titles, and both of these were previously released on Blu-ray by Dark Force Entertainment. So 2 of the 4 releases I'm showing you in this video were released, a few years back in fact, I think Primal Rage was a 2020 release. So it wasn't that long ago. And so I actually had this one. I did not pick this one up, but it was on my to-get list, so I'm glad I didn't. And I say it's not fair. The only reason it would suck, which it really doesn't, I guess, but it's because A, I already have a lot of these, and B, I'm not 4K equipped. I don't have a 4K player, and I don't really collect for 4K or whatever. I have a lot of 4K thanks to Vinegar Syndrome, and whenever the price is right, I'll pick it up. But for a lot of movies like these, like Primal Rage, the Blu-ray was just fine. So it was more fun for me to get things that I had not ever seen before. But nonetheless, a lot of you will be really happy because you weren't able to pick this up before, or you're equipped for 4K. And so you're excited to watch these films in 4K. So it is great that they're staying out there. I just happen to be subscribed, so I'm getting them anyway. And my preference would be to get things that I already didn't. So this would be one of those. This I already had. But nonetheless, I was able to gift my Primal Rage Dark Force Blu-ray to my friend Nathan. So there you have it. You can play Santa Claus with your old discs. So up next, we've got a new set, another good reason, for me anyway, personally, another fun reason to have been subscribed to Vinegar Syndrome for all these years. And that is just getting your hands on things, again, many of which are in that sweet spot era that I talk about a lot. And this one's called Mexican Gothic, the films of Carlos Enrique Taboada. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. But 3 movies, and this comes in a nice box, slip box, whatever, box cover. There's the art for 3 films. Now, I say this because I'm not well schooled in Mexican cinema, especially like Mexican low budget, forgotten cinema, horror, things like that. But the stuff that Vinegar Syndrome has released over the years from Mexico, I've absolutely loved. And there's been a lot of fun stuff in those releases. And so I'm looking forward to this and hoping there's more. Now let's take a look at the inside. So we've got, again, this outer box, which is really nice. And then we've got the discs itself in their own slipcover. So let's take that out of the slipcover. Now there are 3 films in this set, and I did reverse this around, so I think this art is a little different from some of the other art. It's similar but different, right? Yeah, similar but different. There's the slip box. Yeah, similar but different. I had to triple check to make sure. All right, so we've got Poison for the Fairies from 1986. Darker Than Night from 1975. Here's a list of them while I read them off. And Rapina from 1975. So you got 2 mid-70s movies and 1 from the mid-80s. And special features, video essay for Poison for the Fairies with a film scholar. Darker Than Night video essay with the same scholar. Oh, he looks like he has given essays on all 3 films, and those are the special features. So let's take a look at the inside. Looks like we've got 2 discs. 2 movies are on one of the discs, and Rapina gets its own disc. So there you have it. Now, I can't find how Vinegar Syndrome feels about this release. And remember, they were delighted about Freeway 2. Vinegar Syndrome for Primal Rage is pleased. So they're delighted and pleased. So we haven't gotten a proud yet. Also included in the Carlos Enrique Taboada set is a booklet. Mexican Gothic, the film's the same title as the set itself. And see a little bit about what's in there. You got some images and some essays and some writing. I guess these would be the essays that I was talking about, maybe, or special features. No, those are video essays. So these are on top of the video essays. The booklet. So all right, there you have it. Let's see how these go back in. So let's put the book in first. Boom. And then the Blu-ray discs. Boom, right there. All right. Now those are your 3 Vinegar Syndrome mainline releases. I believe from February? Yeah, February 2023. I got one more to show you. This is from the Vinegar Syndrome Archive, Vinegar Syndrome's homage-paying subline to the video store era, I believe is how they describe it, and can get kind of confusing because at some point, sometimes some of the releases are like, I'm not sure that fits with a lot of the other releases that, had that feel of a late 80s through early 90s, early to mid 90s, action, adventure, and horror video store rentals. But this one definitely has that feel, and this is Dog Tags from 1987. Just an action movie, Italian-made action movie, war movie, based set in the Vietnam War era. Now, with the Vinegar Syndrome Archive releases, you've got the bottom-loading V8, paying homage to how your VHS tapes were packaged. So we're going to pull that out. There we go. I think I did flip that around. It's essentially the same art that's on the back of the hard box. So I actually like the front art better, but since it's already going to be there on the box, I turned it around for the insert. There's a look at the back. Dog Tags, Vinegar Syndrome is proud. Yes, we got a proud in there. So Vinegar Syndrome is proud to present the never-before-seen uncut original English language version of Dog Tags for the first time on Blu-ray, newly restored in 4K from the original interpositive film elements and presented in its true CinemaScope aspect ratio. Now, apparently this had a ton of edited versions released back in the VHS and maybe the DVD eras. Never before seen uncut. I guess maybe it was released on DVD. I don't know. But definitely a lot of different edits on VHS back in the day. So this is the uncut edit. Looks like it rolls in at 111 minutes. So maybe there were good reasons for those cuts and edits on those VHS versions. I guess we'll find out. Directed by Romano Scavolini, starring Clive Wood, Baird Stafford, Robert Halfrecht. And yeah, I'm really excited. I love this stuff. Again, this is another one of those where, this is what I love about Vinegar Syndrome type of situations. So, let's look at the inside. These Vinegar Syndrome Archive releases come with a poster. I'm not going to undo the poster, but it is there. And there's the disc. Look at the inside. You can see that other side of that art that mirrors the hardcover slipcase. I'll put the poster back in. And let's see, I don't have my piece of paper cheat sheet thing here, so let's see if I can get this to go back in without ruining the plastic. Okay. The answer is, oh, yes. I went for like the I don't know, several years worth of VSA releases, able to put the case back into the slip case, the plastic case back into the slip case, without messing up the plastic on the plastic case. And at some point, I don't know if they got tighter or what, but at some point, a lot of people always had trouble with it, but I never did. But then at some point, I want to say a year and a half ago, I started having trouble with it too. So I started using the little paper trick, which you can see on some of my older videos for Vinegar Syndrome. And Yeah, and so I just, out of safety and concern, I just started using that way to do it so that I wouldn't ruin these. But there we go. I still have the magic touch. I'm able to do it again. This one has 5,000 units, and I have number 1,678 is the number I have for dog tags. So anyhow, I've talked enough about these 4 releases from Vinegar Syndrome, February 2023 releases. And so there you have it, Vinegar Syndrome. Thanks for joining me for this video. I'll be back again soon with some more hauls and some more reviews coming up, and I'll see you then.